This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from Thunder Bay Theater. I have David Delano and Erica Warner. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. And David, as we're taping this, you have just told me that you are going to be the 2018 music director.
I am. I'm the 2018 resident music director for Thunder Bay Theater. So I'm here in the fall to start out. I did a grand night for singing in the spring, so that sort of introduced me to Alpena, and I decided with my girlfriend that we were going to come here and be a part of Thunder Bay Theater. So I'll be here for all of 2018 doing all the musicals, all the music for all the musicals.
Yay!
Yes.
So obviously you have a music background.
I do. The last 20 years have been spent at some point in my life, you know, in some sort of playing fashion. I grew up taking piano lessons. And you know, in high school, I was in the honors choruses and the honors bands, and I just let it continue and grow into what I've seen blossom into a career. You know, it's nice, and you know, even though I'm not quite at the place where I can do just that, which I'd love to get to, you know, it's great to have a place like Thunder Bay Theater where I can know that I have work for at least the next year and hopefully more.
Well, good for you, and welcome to Alpena.
Thank you.
Now, Erica, this past weekend they did a free performance of Shakespeare. How did that go?
It went great. So we originally were going to do Shakespeare in the parking lot, but we had to move it inside because of weather. It was too cold for the actors. But it went great. We had a lot of new faces that we hadn't seen before in a big house, which is always great for the actors. We love having more people in the audience, always makes it better. And the show went really well. People really liked it. And we've got one more weekend of performances, and all of them will just be our normal indoor performances. But so this last weekend will be the closing of Hamlet, and then we're moving on to the next show.
Yes, we are.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
Yes.
So tell me how we're bringing that to Thunder Bay Theater stage.
So Meet Me in St. Louis started way back when in the 40s with Judy Garland starring as the film, and it wasn't adapted until 1989 for Broadway. But you know, it's just a musical. It's timeless. You know, the story is a story of just family coming together, you know, and not to say that necessarily the family in the story is having the hardest hardships that they've maybe had in their life, but they're still, you know, they're going through trials, and I think it's a relatable story, and it's a story that everybody kind of knows, you know. And going into the Christmas season, there's Christmas in the show, and it feels like the right show for where we are just as a community. Just in my short time here, it feels very nice.
And you can hardly sit still. You're so excited about this show.
I am. I'm very excited.
So tell me about your role.
So I'm playing Mrs. Smith, who is the mother character, and she's just delightful. I tend to play like not as sweet of characters, so I'm really excited to just have a character that's, like, you know, very nurturing and loves her children, and I'm really excited to do that. She's got some really pretty songs, and I'm delighted to be working with the high schoolers again, because I worked last year in Sound of Music with them. So this is our high school production. So it's mostly high schoolers, and then we have a couple Alpena favorites like David Usher's in it. He's playing the grandpa on the show. And I'm just really excited. We've had music rehearsals already. Yeah. We started blocking this week. I'm also the choreographer for the show, and so I choreographed all of the numbers last week, and yesterday we just finished the last dance number, so now it's in Jeffrey's hands, and he gets to block everything and direct all the scenes. Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure next week is almost tech, I think.
We're getting there. You know, we open the day after Thanksgiving, so, you know, for us who do multiple shows in a row, you know, she's finishing Hamlet but still learning for St. Louis. So, you know, it's a lot, but it's, you know, it's what we love to do. So
well, that's why I said you're professional. You can tell you're professional, because how do you not get up and sing the song from, or say a Shakespeare line while you're doing Meet Me in St. Louis? I mean, there has to be a reason why it doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, you know, deciphering that information and just remembering, you know, what to get out when. But, you know, we're really excited at the theater for this show. You know, this slot every year is this, you know, the show, as Erica was saying, that we do with the high schoolers, and as part of our educational initiative, TBT Squared, which in the spring will continue with another educational tour. which their aim is to get to every student in Alpena County. And I'm not sure where they are in that goal yet. I'm not sure if that's going to be achieved this year or not, but their eventual goal is to reach every student in Alpena County.
When Jeffrey first came to Alpena and he told me about some of his goals, I thought, wow, what lofty goals, but I think he's pretty close to everything.
Yeah,
He really is.
He is. He just keeps trucking along, and he's doing a great job. And especially with the high. So I've been involved in the high school show twice, and it's great because you watch these high schoolers grow up through the years.
Oh,
and
yes.
Jeffrey sent so many of them off to college to do theater, and that's amazing that he's able to inspire them to continue with theater in their entire life.
Yeah, and
So-
he has a way, and the theater as a whole has a way of inspiring the kids that want to go further, but not leaving behind the kids who just want it to be their hobby. You know, and that's our goal at the theater, is to make it so it's approachable for everybody, but the kids who want to go further and take it to their career are able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we better get the dates when we can come to Thunder Bay Theater.
Yes, so we open the day after Thanksgiving
Okay.
on the 24th of November,
Okay.
and then we run for 3 weekends. So we run Thursdays through Sundays, and we close on December 10th.
Okay. All right. And then, so back to the music. What kind of songs are we going to hear? Give me some songs.
So the Christmas Carol that we now consider
Okay.
"Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas"
Okay.
is in this show. Another Christmas Carol at the first Noel. You know,
Okay.
you'll recognize those very easily.
Do you have a hard time keeping the audience from screaming out the words?
Well, we always,
might.
I don't know if they'll do that or not,
Okay.
but it's a little bit okay, you know. So we have those, and "Skip to My Lou" is
Oh.
from this. You know, everybody kind of knows these songs are
Yes.
sung on the playground or other places. The Trolley Song is another well-known song.
Yep.
So there's a lot of really well-known songs that were made famous by Judy Garland originally, or others of that time period.
Yeah, and they became so popular that they turned into pop songs at the time, so everyone knew them, but they're originally from the musical, which I actually didn't know until we started this show.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I think one of them, I want to say it's "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." It may
Okay.
have been one of the others, was top of the charts at its
Oh,
time in
wow.
1944.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to thank both of you very much for being here, and we want to encourage everyone to call the box office 354-2267, get your tickets, bring your family, a great family show for the holiday season.
Very good family show.
Thank you both very much for being here, and I look
you.
forward to seeing you soon.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Ron Siegel, and we're here to talk about using white spaces to connect America. He's from Alband. Hi, Ron, and good morning.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And white spaces, kind of sound a little freaky to me. So tell me what that means, using white spaces to connect America.
Yeah, white space is ironically, in the setting we're in right now, is actually using unused broadcast channels to basically bond these channels together and provide broadband over the air. It's a technology that's been around for a few years, and we're starting to partner with Microsoft right now and Merit Network, which is based on Ann Arbor. They're a backhaul provider through the state that works with a
Okay.
lot of the anchors and schools, and we're basically piloting the software in Hillman right now.
Okay.
And in Montmorency County, and we're going to be rolling it out in Alpena as well to test and see how it works for these rural areas. The reason it's so intriguing and useful is the fact that it can go long distances as a wireless technology and not be disturbed by the trees, which, as you know, we have a lot of up
Right.
here. Yep.
Wow. Okay, so who does this benefit when we get this up and running and everything's going to be wonderful?
All right. So, Alband for the last 12 years has been focused on providing broadband to unserved areas, and that's why we're not in the Alpena city area right now. But we've invested millions of dollars and covered over 300 square miles now. And now that we're blessed with this amazing infrastructure through grants and subsidies, we're trying to leverage that a bit more. And now we're starting to look at wireless. So this is going to benefit people that are near our fiber optic infrastructure that we've put in over the years, but aren't quite close enough to gain access to it. And what we're hoping to do is use the fiber infrastructure to provide the backbone, the high-speed backhaul that we need to provide this. So people that are up to 7 miles away from where what we call the access points or the the base stations would benefit from this.
Now, you're a nonprofit cooperative.
Correct. Yep, so Alband Communications Cooperative is not-for-profit. We were started to provide 911 over 12 years ago in the area. And we do have another entity that we provide service through called Alband Multimedia. And then we actually had a segment on here before with Bernadette, and
Right.
she went over the Alband Center for Education, Wildlife, and Research. And that, again, is we're trying to leverage this amazing technology we have to do good.
Yeah, it's there. We might as well use it.
Right.
Okay, and
Exactly.
then when I looked at some of this stuff, high-speed internet access to rural communities, Mount Morency and Alcona counties, bridging the homework gap.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so one of the things when we're looking at this white space technology, one of the things Microsoft and All-Band is working on is use cases. And, they have this isn't just us, they're doing this all over the country.
Okay.
Their big Airband initiative is to provide access to millions of people in rural America that don't have it. I mean, there's still a phenomenal amount of people that don't have
that's
broadband in this day
amazing
and
to me.
age. And a lot of it comes down with density issues, and a lot of it comes down to the technology and subsidies. Rural areas have relied on subsidies. So, we're trying to focus on, bringing that out and providing that opportunity to them. And, we're focusing on Alpena and Alcona right now.
And you're working with
Mount
8
Morency.
bus routes right now.
Yeah. Sorry, that's where I was going with that. The
Okay.
the bus routes, in terms of homework gap, is we're looking at putting this technology on some buses. So these children that are in these rural areas that are on the buses for several hours a day, we're
Right.
looking into the idea and working with the school boards and even the parents, and they're looking at the use case of having these kids have access for homework, things like that,
Okay.
and or monitoring too, monitoring the buses, things like that.
And you said you're working with over 200 students right now?
No, we're working with, right now we're demoing, we're going to be installing the equipment in Hillman, and
Okay.
however many kids are on those buses.
Oh,
But we're
wonderful.
working on this in conjunction with Merit, who is the backbone provider for the schools.
Okay.
And Microsoft, of course, and the white space vendor to help facilitate the connections.
And it says you're going to expand educational programs
Yep.
with drones and cloud services.
Yep. Well, yep, and and all that kind of comes with the technology
Okay.
and the territory. We do have a very experimental-esque, business mind, and we're looking at how we can use drones for research. We're looking at all sorts of things, how we can use the cloud for access, and basically trying to bring that urban technological advantage up to these rural areas.
And then you had mentioned the wildlife habitat, using critter cams to help with wild
Right.
habitat research, disease, and data collection. Now what an innovative idea.
Yes, so ACWR, that's our big focus right now, is natural resource management and research. We want to be a facilitator and use this technology to collect data. We have a lot going on in our environment right now, and,
Oh,
and being that
yes.
it's hunting season coming up, we have chronic wasting disease with deer, we have bovine tuberculosis, which is impacting our agricultural areas, it's impacting our cattle, and these
yes.
farmers that, their lifeline is their cattle, and
Right.
they're losing them at herds at a time. So we're trying to, now that we have this technology in this area where you normally wouldn't find it, we're working with universities and the DNR and other entities to say, look, let's experiment with this white space technology, let's experiment with our fiber access and other wireless technologies, utilize the cloud. So Microsoft, for example, has Azure, which is their cloud platform. They have a lot of AI progress, artificial intelligence, and we're looking at ways how not only can we monitor herd management, habitat management, how do we collect the data to help make the right policy decisions with the government to kind of turn things around up here.
And the live streaming technologies too. On here you have promote tourism, aid in local park communication services,
Right.
which doesn't happen now, and safety on our county and state trails. More great ideas.
Yeah, that you get this fiber in an area, and that's what we do. We get creative. I look at internet as a gateway service. I look at it as a utility these days,
Yes.
just like water, gas.
Yes, it is.
To make things work in rural areas, you have to get creative and you have to engage your government. It's more than just what we call high-speed internet for end users. It's, what can you do with the data pipe? So we're looking at cameras on trails for public safety reasons. Obviously we talked about the buses, telemedicine,
Right.
Telepresence. Getting these pipes into these homes and these businesses in these areas really opens up a wonderful, opportunity for improving any facet of society.
And as
really.
we talked before, work at home opportunities. If you don't have
Correct.
the right internet and technology available to you in your home, you can't do some jobs.
Right. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I've personally seen the impact we've had on the community, and it's great. I mean, the internet is more than just shopping and going on
Yes.
the World Wide Web. I mean, it's job, it's data access. We have a whole home automation platform now where people are monitoring their camps monitoring their freezers so they don't lose all their wild game. You know, it just goes on and on and on. And when I work with legislators and I work with the government, I urge them to look at broadband as that gateway service and see how they can start leveraging that to improve things.
Okay, we're just about out of time, so we had a lot of information. So if someone wants to talk to you personally and ask you some questions, what's the best way to reach you, Ron?
So our website is just allband.org,
Okay.
ALLBAND. They can email me, they can call me. I love chatting about this stuff.
I bet.
We take any opportunity that comes in. We love to help, we love to promote change. We're not your normal company, so we have this unique model and we're just going to keep growing and working on it. So our phone number is very easy. It's 989-369-9999.
Okay.
You can ask for me. Anybody in the office will answer. So yeah, I feel free to call with interest. And if you're interested in getting involved with the wildlife management, the natural resource management, we're starting to sign up people that are interested in it and becoming a member, and just give us a call.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Jay Walterite, who's the Director of Public Information and Marketing at ACC. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you. It's interesting to be on this side. The couch is a lot squishier.
For those of you who don't know, when I can't do this, Jay steps in, does a very, very good job of it. I'm very appreciative of it. But yeah, you're on a different side now.
They haven't locked me out of the building yet, so I keep coming back.
Well, one of the things you're working on, one of many, is the annual report.
That's right.
And I thought we might just give the viewers a sense for your thoughts on that and the project as a whole.
Okay.
So.
Well, the annual report is one of my favorite projects each year, because it gives me an opportunity to go back and review all of those great things that have happened in the previous year. And, you know, at the college, there's so many things going on, so many student success stories, so many interactions with the community, that it's often easy to stop and appreciate all those good things. So this is my chance to go back and look at the pictures and read the stories and think, wow, some really great things did happen.
Yeah.
And it makes me very proud to be a part of the college community. Maybe makes me very proud of our students and you know, the value that we bring to our community.
That's wonderful, and I agree. It gives you a chance to aggregate all those things that the pace is fast.
That's right.
And good things happen quickly, and then if you don't put them together, they can be lost to memory. So last year's report was highly regarded.
It was well received. Usually my schedule is that I write, design the annual report, and it's presented to the Board of Trustees first, usually at the November board meeting. They get first crack at it. They get to see it, review the pictures, point out any typos that I put in there. And then once it's gotten past that point, it's usually printed locally and distributed. We have a list of over 500 individuals and organizations that we work with and that we think are very important. So it goes out to them so that they can see the good things that we do every year. Some of those are legislators, some of those are businesses that we work closely with. So the communication aspect of the annual report is something that I value very highly.
I think you're right about that. You know, I have the benefit of the report, and for instance, if I'm going to Lansing, as I did a lot in the spring, I took the annual report, and they read it and liked it. You know, so folks. We're competing, generally speaking, with folks who are busy and have limited span of attention. And the way you're aggregating what we've done and organized it is very beneficial. So congrats there. Last year, the spine of it was new. And related to the college mission and goals. Why don't you speak to that?
Well, the college has diligently worked towards our strategic plan, which encompasses the trustees' mission and values. And the strategic plan list those out and also lists ways in which the college is working towards meeting those goals and that mission. So it's very informative that way. And what I try to do with the content of the annual report is to provide evidence that the college is actually achieving those goals and that mission. A lot of it is visual in terms of pictures. I'm a very visual person, so I appreciate that. And I also understand that many people are busy, so sometimes the best thing they can do is just flip through a publication, look at the photos, and if they're intrigued, they can read further. So that structure around the strategic plan, I think, is very important.
I think you're right. You know, when you first referenced it, I thought, okay, that's interesting. The more I see it, the more I think that was a really good idea. I mean, thought it was a good idea in the start, but it's gotten better. For instance, when the Higher Learning Commission came, you know, they referenced how aligned or tied in the college staff from top to bottom was, and how much they understood the mission and goals and followed them and embraced them. So I think your thoughts there are very helpful in that regard.
Well, thank you. I can't claim complete responsibility for that organization. I read lots of annual reports and selectively choose those things that I think are beneficial. You know, I am having one problem with this annual report this year, which is that there is so much content. It's hard to choose what I think is the most important thing to get out there. You know, one of the downsides of being the arbiter of this information is that often there are people who are doing quality work and desire some recognition for that doesn't come out in the annual report. So I have to profusely apologize for that. I certainly don't mean to slight anybody, but there are just so many good things going on and there's only so much space.
Yeah, well, we trust that your judgment, you'll make a good call on that. Is there anything in this upcoming report that you're especially excited about? We've got about a minute left.
The drone developments in the past year are extremely exciting and have gathered a lot of good press for us, and the drones form the foundation of the graphic design. You know, my favorite part of it was the acknowledgement for Alpena Early College.
Oh yes.
What a great program that is, and people may remember that they graduated their first cohort back in May, and we're very proud of that.
Yes, got a great partnership between ACC and APS. A lot of help from Lee Fitzpatrick, Joyce McCoy, Kathy Marsh, Deb Bayer, Mike Colleen on our end for sure. And Jay, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it'll be great, just like it was last year, and I appreciate your efforts in that regard and all the other things, and especially even when you stand in for me doing Talk of the Town. So thank you, and thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.